So what's up everybody? Today we're going to be talking about are you actually depressed and everything regarding that. Now, as far as this video is gonna go, I just want to get into depression, what it is, different types and how it happens, what can you do to remove it, all the symptoms and things like that for most people anyway. So let's just get into the video itself. So depression. What is depression technically? It's a mental disease, as they say it, and or illness, and you usually get some symptoms of like sadness, maybe feeling irritable, pain, not wanting to do anything, and things like that. That's usually what it is. And with people, it can vary in degrees. It can be bad or it can be less bad. It can be triggered by something. It cannot be triggered by something. Though usually if it's triggered, it's not actually depression. But yeah. Anyways, so with depression, you definitely will know if you actually have it because it's very debilitating and you don't really want to do anything and you feel sort of down all the time. Though there are people that can actually function and still have it. They just are in their routine, but they're very down all the time. And I would say I fall into that category of being able to do things, but I was still pretty down at one point in my life. Now, there's also fake depression, which is like kind of thinking you are actually depressed, but in reality you're maybe a little bit sad or whatever. A lot of people miscategorize these words, and I think miscategorize themselves in this state, even though they're not in the state of depression. So with that, I think most people could get out of depressed states in general just by doing self-improvement. Because if you do self-improvement and you do good habits and you make yourself feel better, look better, do all the self-care and self-love activities that you need to do for yourself. So like eat healthy, exercise, maybe meditate, journal, things like that. Those are gonna help you inherently just get a better feeling and a better look for yourself. It's going to take time obviously to get better, but over time, in my experience, it does get better, as I used to be in that state of where I was like really bad looking. My mental state was not very good, and just like the fact is you feel way better when you actually take care of yourself, and when you start seeing the results of your looks changing, maybe your mental health starts changing a bit because of the things you eat and exercising, you feel better, then that will constantly improve your mental health as well as your looks, and that will make everything better. It kind of compounds over time into itself and you feel better, and the depression goes away usually. I would say that's for most people. The problem is that they're in a state of like a rut, you could say. So they aren't really getting anything done. So instead what they should do is self-improve, but most people are just not strong enough to actually get themselves out there and do it. So for me, the experience was you have to get an inner motivator. You have to find that why within yourself if you want to get out of it, if you want to get out of actual depression. And you can do it by self-improvement, and you're depressed because, see, depression as a feeling, it can come from a variety of different things. It can come from being actually depressed because of something that you have inside you. Like you can actually have some kind of chemicals and things like that, imbalances that will basically make you be depressed, and that could be fixed perhaps by medication and things like that. But then there's also depression, which is caused by your emotions as well as your just body and brain when you're not doing something. So this is depression that comes as in like your brain and body is trying to tell you do something. That's why you're depressed, because you're not doing enough, and when you don't do enough and you're not improving, that's when you get depressed, because you're not inherently doing the self-improvement habits that would get you to where you want to be, and you want to be, but you're not willing to do it. So your body is kind of giving you this reaction in the form of depression, making you feel bad because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's why a lot of people feel bad even if it's not related to depression, usually your emotions and feelings will tell you when you feel bad about something. It usually means you should do something about it. If you feel lonely and sad, maybe you should find a romantic partner or friends, or go do something social. Again, your brain and body is pretty smart, and it will subconsciously tell you these things. Even in your dreams, it will tell you what you kind of need to do and what you're missing in your life. And a lot of people don't pick up on these cues, and they don't understand what their body is trying to tell them inherently. They just kind of wallow in the emotion instead of understanding why the emotion is coming, in a sense, and using it to their, I guess, advantage, or understanding why it comes. And that's a big part why depression comes, is it's your body is telling you to change as a person, and you're not changing enough, and that's what happens. Depression usually comes away when you get goals, you improve yourself, and then you notice the depression going away, because slowly your body is starting to react to the fact that you're improving and you're becoming happier, because you're actually working on the things you're supposed to be working on. So it goes away slowly. And that's what I noticed with myself, is slowly over time my mental health and everything improves, and the depression goes away, because you're actually working on what you need to be working on, and you find your purpose. Now, I'd say the biggest things are definitely finding just a goal to work towards and improving in that, and that is going to make the biggest difference for it. Now, if you're actually depressed and you need medication and things like that, and you need professional help, then you should go after that. Don't take my advice, obviously. You find out your own situation, go talk to somebody about it that's more qualified. But that would just be my advice, because I think there's like two types of depression to improve. There's the one that you can self-improve, and then there's the one that maybe requires some external help, more or less. I actually did get external help before, and it was okay, but it wasn't the main problem. My main problem was self-improvement, and that's really what fixed my problems, is just self-improving, more or less. And I think for most people that would be the case, is that you should self-improve, and that would fix most of your problems. Anyhow, I think you should figure out for yourself, what is it that is wrong in your life? What is your body and brain telling you to do? Like, what do you feel like you need to change in your life? That is most likely what is going to fix your problems. It might not just be that your body is not good looking, it might be your social life or something else, maybe your work, career, life. Your body usually and brain will tell you what is wrong, and you probably know what is wrong, but you just haven't realized it properly. And that's something I would say work on, is just figuring out what it is that you're missing in your life that you need to improve on. And if you can't, even after improving, get rid of the depression, then you should seek some kind of help. And getting some kind of outside perspective on your situation might help as well. And getting a different perspective might open up new ideas for you as well, what to do. And just talk about things. If you have nobody to talk about, or talk to, I mean, you could probably just try to find some kind of online communities, or just anything really that you can find in your local area. Anyhow, in conclusion, you should figure out, do you have depression, or kind of like fake depression, or depression that you can get rid of by self-improvement. And once you've got that figured out, then you can move on and figure out what is it that you need to do. If it's like self-improvement type thing where you can improve to get rid of it, then you need to figure out what it is that you need to improve. And if it's actual, I need medical help, then you should go get that. I don't really take this as a joke, this subject, and I don't think anybody's feelings should be discarded if it's real. But I think a lot of people do have indeed this fake depression, where it's like they self-diagnose, or they just feel bad because they're not at where they want to be, so that's where they're depressed. And I think they should work on it instead of complaining and so on. I feel like that was the case for me a lot of times. I'm not saying that I didn't have any of the actual symptoms of it before, but that was the case for me for the most part. Is I needed to just self-improve, and my body was telling me to do that, so I did it. I hope this helps, and see you in the next video.